Hello guys, and welcome back to Photographics Academy. Today we're going to be retouching this image live here on YouTube, right? We'll try as much as possible to break things down to the barest minimum. If you at any point get confused, just go to the comment section, drop your question there, and we will be so glad to attend to it. Now, the first thing we'll definitely be doing on this image is to take care of the blemishes that are very, very visible that we are looking at. And to do that, we'll be using our patch tool. I'll make a duplicate of my background, then pick up my patch tool and remove the very big obvious ones. So if at any point you're not able to see your blemishes clearly, you can just create a black and white adjustment layer and drag the reds down, and it's going to be able to show you anyone that your eyes was not able to see clearly. I think we can work with what we have now. So our blemishes are quite fixed. The rest we can take care of in our frequency separation. So the next thing I want to be doing to the image, sorry we missed one part, the lips. All right, so the next thing we're going to be doing is our frequency separation. I'm going to be doing that using my free retouching action, which is also available for you on our Telegram channel. If you have not joined, just join the Telegram channel through the description of the video, and you'll be able to gain access to this particular action because we have already given it out for free there. So I'm going to load my frequency separation, and I'll be keeping it somewhere around 6, right? Because I want to retain quite some number of texture. At the end of the day, we'll be painting with 7. Open up the group. So we'll have quite some layers here. We'll have the low duplicated into 2 and clipped to the one below. The same thing with the high frequency. So we'll be using either the low frequency or we'll just create an empty layer, use our mixer brush tool and paint on it as a correcting tone with our sample all layer turned on and our high frequency turned off. So any of those two will be able to give you a very good result at the end of the day. And I think let's work with that. So the first place we're going to start is the forehead. Now, if you look at this image clearly, you're going to notice that we'll have shifts in lightening. And because of that, we're having different tones on the image. We'll have some areas that are darker than some and some areas that are brighter than some. So it's basically what we call the midtones, the highlights, and the shadows. So these areas are your highlights, the very bright areas. Then these areas are your midtones. Then these areas that are quite dark, maybe the lips area and all of that. These areas, they are your shadows. So when you are using your mixer brush tool and you are doing frequency separation, you have to be very careful not to paint your shadows into your highlight or your highlight into your shadows. So always use the midtone to blend them together. Now, with that being said, I'm going to start painting from this highlight. So you notice I'm making circular motions and I'm increasing the size of my brush depending on where I'm painting per time. So how you will know that you are done with an area is that even looking at it from your screen, that area is going to be smooth. Once it's smooth, you know you are good to go. You move over to the next place. So we'll paint over this side. So one thing you will notice is that as we are painting, this area is going to be showing you the stamp of the places or the map of the places you have already done your frequency separation on. So once you're able to get your whole face represented here, then you are good to go. So we'll come over to the nose, got that highlight there. Just do one strokes on them. All right, so back to the eyes area. We'll also repeat the same process there. that highlight, paint on it, paint on the shadow separately. Okay, down to the body. Let's see how much we've done so far. This is the before, this is the after, this is the before, this is the after. So let's keep going. We can as well paint over the lips just a little. Just a little to smoothen it out to an extent. All right, so let's open up our frequency separation. So this is how much we've been able to do. The before, the after. But if you look at the image, you're going to notice few things that we need to fix. So if you look at it, you're going to notice that we'll still have quite a number of blemishes on our image. It looks quite rough. So we are going to be using our high frequency to fix all the rough skin tones and all of that, and use our dodge and burn to make some lightening corrections as well. So I'm going to pick up my clone stamp too, make it quite small, make it small, make it small, make it small, and start painting the blemishes. Now, if you cannot see the blemishes, something you can do is to create a black and white adjustment layer outside the group. Very important, outside the group. Make it quite dark. Or, let me show you another trick. You can run a check layer. You can run a check layer from the action. Let me show you. I've actually not tried this before, but let's see if it's going to also work for us. So it's actually my dodge and burn check layer. But let's run it and see if it's going to help us identify our blemishes. It actually did. So we'll open up our high frequency using our clone stamp. I'll start fixing all the sharp lightnings that we are seeing. So if you are looking at the image, you're going to see the textures, the way they are, showing up here and there. So how much time you spend doing this is going to determine how smooth your picture is going to look at the end of the day. Although there are other tricks I'm going to show you to hasten it up and be able to get the job done faster and quicker. Let's see how much we've done. Good. So we've been able to reduce it quite a number. This keeps looking quite up. All right, so this is it. I'm going to delete the check layer now. This is the before. This is the after. This is the before. This is the after. You can as well check the top of your eyelid here. If you feel you don't want the texture, you can reduce it. Now, the next thing we're going to be going into is our dodging and burning. Very important, because if you look at the image, we have lost quite some lightening on the image, and we wouldn't want to lose the lightening entirely. So we'll be using our dodge and burn to bring them back. So I'm going to play my dodge and burn action over here, my dodge and my burn. Then of course, I'm going to play my check layer to show us exactly where we are painting per time. This can actually be done using black and white in case you do not have the inverted check layer like this. Just that this allows me to see the transitions and how neat my frequency separation is. So I'm going to turn off my frequency separation to be able to see where the original lights are falling. So to do your dodge and burn with your brush, you might need to be somewhere around from 3 to 5, depending on how intense you want the lightning to be of that particular area. So the idea of dodging and burning is to make the highlights even brighter and the shadows even darker, so that it will bring out the dimensions and the structure of the face. That is why we have to turn off our frequency separation, because sometimes after a frequency separation, those structures and edges in the face have been altered. So you also use your dodge and burn to restore them and bring them back. So with that being said, I'm going to turn on my check layer. So when you are using this particular check layer, all these places that are dark are actually your highlight, because this is inverted. And all the places that are bright are actually your shadow. But if you are using your black and white, it is the way it is in your eyes. Let me show you what black and white looks like. So you are working with black and white. All these areas means these are places you can find your highlight. Then these are the places you can find your shadow. So we stick with our check layer, the inverted one, then pick up our dodge group and our brush, and we'll start painting. So these are the highlights. We start painting over them. Want them to shine even more. Got the forehead. Very strong highlight we have here. Something over here. Okay, so we'll come down to the cheek. Make it brighter by making it darker. Okay, so we'll come down to the neck. This does not have to take all the time, depending on what you want to create with your own dodge and burn effect. So you can as well decide to, touch some on the hair. And I need to turn up my check layer to see exactly where I need my dodge to be on the hair, because, the hair is generally dark. So that check layer may not be able to show us exactly what we want to see. Turn it back on, pick up our bone, and do for our bone. So I'm going back to 3. So our bone are the places that look quite bright, which are all the surrounding areas. All right, so I'm going to turn off my check layer. Let's see what we've done so far. Now, the lips is a very important place I need to touch. So I might be painting at 100%. So I need to create a very beautiful line for her. So let's just go out there. And the shadow areas. So we can soften out our brush now and remove it from some excesses. I'll do the same thing for the lower parts. Just make it slightly brighter. So let's see what we've done so far. We'll put the 2 dodge and burn in a group so that we can be able to view them. This is the before, this is the after, this is the before, this is the after. So once we turn on our frequency separation now, so you notice all the dimensions are properly back. So let me group it into one group. This is the before, this is the after, this is the before, this is the after. So I noticed the burn we did over here is still strong. So we're going to go into that particular area and reduce the burn step. Make it a bit smaller than the same thing with the dodge that we did under the chin. So I need a little highlight on the upper part of the face, this area. And some highlight down here. Okay, so moving forward, the next thing we need to do to this image is to still get it smoothened out. It's still looking quite rough from where I'm standing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go straight into my low frequency, or rather still staying on my layer. I'll go to filter, go to photo toolbox, yes. Locate my skin finer. Just to smoothen out that skin tone a little bit. Yes, just like this. So this is everything we painted. Increase the amount, make it a bit finer. Reduce the medium. Beautiful. All right, so the next thing we'll be doing is to color grade the image, right? If you look at this image, you're going to notice her face and her neck not entirely different, but we need to color grade it. So I'm going to delete our check layer, get back into our action. But before we get to that point, I need to saturate some places. So I'm going to turn on my saturate plus. Then I'll pick up my brush, open the group, increase my flow. I want to saturate this part of the eyes. Beautiful. Something over there. So I think the lips is too much. I need to reduce it. Then the next thing I want to saturate is my, what is it called? My blushes. So I'm going to play my blush at its head. So what this is going to help us do is that it's going to allow us to saturate few places that we want to saturate. So since we've already saturated the lips, we are not going to be touching the lips again. We'll just go straight to the cheeks. So we'll just dab in some blushes over here. Do the same thing for this area as well. Of course, this is too much. We need to reduce it. Tone it down. Beautiful. So our image is taking shape gradually. So the next thing I'm going to do is my face contour. Going to play my face contour action. Look at that. So just adds a little contrast to the image. The before, the after, the before, the after. So you notice that even the highlights are becoming even more pronounced now. And once you are done doing that, the next thing you might want to do is to color grade your image. So I'm going to match everything together, Ctrl-Shift-Alternate-E, to give us a stamp visible layer. Then I'm going to select my object. So once the object is selected, I'll press Ctrl-J to minus that to, have a duplicate of my object above my stamp visible layer. So I have only my object on a separate layer now. So I'm going to use any color grading tool. In this one, we're going to be using our gradient map. So I'll go straight to my gradient map, open it up, go down to legacy gradient. This wouldn't look bad. Let's see how that looks. Not so bad. It's all right, we'll come back to that later. Let me show you exactly what I came to show you. So we'll go to legacy gradient, go all the way down to photographic toning. So we are looking for something warm because of the nature of our skin tone. This is so fine. We press OK. Now we want this thing just on the skin. We do not want it on the whole image. So we'll clip it directly on the object like this. So we'll just have it on her. I like the contrast is bringing into the hair, so we'll not separate it. But we can, of course, drop it down. We can as well change the blend mode to color to give us a uniform skin tone first. If you look at it now, we'll have a uniform skin tone. The face and the neck have exactly the same color. Then we'll make a duplicate of it, change the second one to soft light, and still clip it down so that it still stays with the object. Then we can as well tone it down and even group these three together, right? And reduce the opacity. So we'll have a very beautiful skin tone at the end of the day. Another thing you can do if you want to even get a more darker skin tone is just create a black and white adjustment layer, then change the blend mode to multiply, and you're having that skin tone. Bring it down. So we'll have a beautiful skin tone, but the problem is that she's now looking down. So we'll go to our curves adjustment layer, pick up our hand tool, and just brighten it up a little. This is the before, this is the after. And we are basically done. So I'm going to flatten everything up together because we're about to apply the last one we need to apply. But before we do that, let's use our Liquefy and fix this area. So I'm going to press Ctrl-J, go into my filter, go into Liquefy. Okay, so few things we want to do here. We want to fix the hairline, and we also want to fix the shape of the hair over here. So first of all, I'm going to use my push left tool. Yeah, this is push left tool over here. Make sure that your pressure, your density, your size, your rate are low, so you don't have to push so hard. So all you need to do is just to be pushing it, upwards. If you go upwards, it helps you bulge out that area. If you go downwards, it helps you push it in. So we want to shape the shape of that area to a curved shape, so we'll bulge it out. Beautiful. So I feel here it's too high. Bring it down a bit. Very good. So the next thing I want to do is to correct the hairline. So we'll just gradually push it in. I need to reduce my density for this one and the pressure as well. Gradually, just little dabbing. As well zoom out rather to see when the curves have effectively formed. Beautiful. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is probably give her a little bit of a tinier nose. So come down to the nose width over here, bring it down a bit. Then if you do that for the nose, that means you have to also pull the chin in a little. So just go to the face tool over here and just drag this inwards. And we are good to go. Press OK. Beautiful. So I'm noticing this opening here. It's quite distracting. So we can use our clone stamp and just clone that out. Okay. The last thing we are going to be doing is to run our done for you retouch action. But before we do that, let's sharpen the image. Let's sharpen the image. So find our sharpen. Press play. Does the job. Continue. So just pick up our brush and paint over the areas we want to bring sharpening back to. Don't worry, I know it's looking rough, but we're going to drop it down. Okay, so once you are done, we need to, of course, reduce the opacity. Beautiful. So the last thing is to apply our done for you retouch action. You know I will always do that. So the reason I'm applying it is just to, blend in some very visible dodge and burn areas. I'll be keeping it somewhere around 4. Press OK. Beautiful. The job is done. But this is too much, obviously. So we just have to bring it down. And we have an amazing result. So let me match it up together. Create a snapshot, then go all the way to the top to show you exactly where we started and how far we've gone. So this is the image when we came into Photoshop. This is the after. This is the before. This is the after. Thank you so much for watching this amazing video. Like I said in the beginning, if you have questions, go to the comment section, drop your questions. I will be glad to attend to them. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel up till now, you are not doing right, because you're going to be missing out on a whole lot of upgrades. Just press the subscribe button and make sure your notification bell is also turned on so that you get notified every single time we drop a new video. Until then, see you on the next vlog.